Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to another episode of Supreme Ruler Ultimate as Madagascar. So this is only going to be a quick little video. I just wanted to say, number one, thanks to everyone for watching these things. I'm enjoying them. I'm loving it. Unfortunately, with my migraine that I had yesterday, right now I'm currently having that moment where I don't have a migraine, but I'm starting to get one, and sometimes these things can go about a week or so. So I just wanted to do a quick little 5-minute video just to show you guys that I'm not trying to, not do videos or what have you, but at the same time I just wanted to show you guys that, I tell you guys what I have planned as well. It kind of helps me take my mind off the fact that I'll be getting a migraine again in 20 or 30 minutes. Because I got the aura. So my plans for Madagascar. So we're still doing the whole role-playing thing. That's not going to change. But a couple things I wanted to do. I really want to work on the economy over the next little while. I want to kind of try and figure out a way that I don't know, I feel like things are kind of getting a little out of control with it. We got a lot of things to kill when it comes to stuff we got to do. Or I won't say things to kill. We have a lot of jobs to do to get the country where I want it to be to a starting point. To me, we're still not even at a point where I feel comfortable yet. A lot more we need to do. We need a lot more power, industrial goods, consumer goods, natural resources, and things like that. So we have a lot of growth to do, and a lot of, we need a lot more things to do in general. So with that in mind, come up with a little bit of a plan. Tell you guys the kind of the strategy I want to take over the next little bit. So number one, we're working right now on the infrastructure, right? We're working on the roads, the trains, the roads and the railroad. Once that's done, we're then going to move on to the nuclear reactors. Plan is we're going to build 2, and we're going to wait a little bit, right? We're going to let them build. We're going to kind of sit back and see what happens with the world around us, and try to kind of figure out things from there. Once we have those 2 nuclear reactors built, we're then going to switch over to 1 consumer goods factory and then 1 industrial goods factory. Once those are both situated, we're going to look at our natural resources and see where we need to kind of collect from there. Once we know kind of where our shortcomings are and where our things that we can exploit and export are, we'll then look to see power consumption, build more, maybe 2, maybe 3, or maybe even 1 nuclear reactor at that point again. Build up some more natural resources, mines and oil rigs and things like that, so we can get things going. Now, one of the other things I thought of too was once all these roads and stuff are done, is to probably actually build some more oil extraction in the kind of the western side of the country there, to get a lot of more oil out of the country, so we can turn around and we can sell it on the market. Now, by doing that and tapping those resources, that will cause a possible dip in the oil prices, so we probably wouldn't sell it immediately, meaning that we would end up possibly having a little bit of a shortcoming when it comes to funds. That means we had to spend a lot of money getting the industrial goods and all that stuff to get them built. So that's an idea. But then the whole point with that would be to use our petroleum or oil to subsidize basically our growth, and throw money, basically oil, all over the world, so we can buy more industrial goods, so we can get more industry going. That's one of the ideas. The other idea, as I said, is to just kind of putter along the way we're going, which is working for us, which is take our time, go slow. If the world's going to burn around us, we'll let it burn around us. We're going to keep to ourselves. As long as we have a strong Air Force and a strong Navy, we will survive. Because, it won't be too hard to, defend ourselves, since we are an island. We are a rock. We are Madagascar. Hear us roar. But the plan will be to basically sit back, the other plan is to, like I said, sit back, kind of let things go, kind of keep them status quo, slowly growing, slowly expanding, Going power, industrial consumption, or industrial factories, consumer factories, more power, seeing where our seeing them where our resources are, and then going from there. So, 2 plans. Plan A: keep things status quo. Once our stage of infrastructure is completed, we go 2 nuclear reactors. Then those 2 nuclear reactors get completed. We then go an industrial factory and a consumer factory. See how we sit power-wise and resource-wise. If we're sitting pretty when it comes to power at that point, we'll look at our resources, see which ones we need to kind of work on, and build at least 2 different things. So say, for example, 1 agricultural farm and a synthetic rubber plant. And then see where we sit after that point, whether we need to go more power, which we probably will have to, and kind of go from there. One of the ideas I'm thinking of playing with is a little down the road. I'm contemplating hydroelectrical power. The reason why I'm contemplating hydro is because it doesn't consume anything other than money. And it puts out raw power. And it is very good at putting out raw power, mind you. And that's one thing I really like, is you basically pay the maintenance fees and you're powering your money or powering your country with a substantial amount of power. So that is a highly probable thing we might do as well, is slowly but surely build hydroelectric dams wherever we can, and get those things going. Fortunately, we can do tidal plants. That's plants that utilize the tidal force of the moon to power basically the generators, which then are the, turn everything and etc, etc, etc. Basically water rushing out cranks the turbines. The turbines then, as they spin, make the power, and the power then goes to the people. So then when the water rushes back in, it does the same thing. The only problem is it only works 2 times of the day. In the middle of the day, it doesn't really work. So tidal ones, they're good. They're very efficient when they're working. So at night, when the tides aren't moving, it doesn't work. So it only works when the tides go in, the tides go out. So, yeah. It's a good thing they don't have those in this game, because that would be just a pain in the butt for efficiency. But yeah, so those are the 2 main plans. Status quo, slowly build, and then plan B, which is go for petroleum and natural resources and export the things that we can export to then subsidize and make money, and then spend money on the things we need. Now, mind you, that plan there, in my eyes, makes me grimace a little bit. The reason why it makes me grimace is because I have to then depend on exports. One thing, if you guys have ever seen me play a game, is I do not like depending on other countries. I do not like depending on trade. I do not like depending on exports. I always like to have a bit of a buffer internally to my nation. I always want to be making, when it comes to money, as much as I'm spending. Unless I have grand plans for construction, in which case I make sure that I'm making more money so I can then turn around and spend it. One thing we always have to watch for, depending on which of the actions we do, is obviously going to be things like our inflation. That is going to be a probable issue that we're going to have. Since we're going to be doing a lot of building over the next little while, our inflation will be growing steadily. With inflation comes obviously all the things like high cost of employment and or work, production and things like that. So we are going to have to try and keep inflation down. Obviously, a good thing with inflation is higher GDP. Inflation shows me that we're going in the right direction, that, we're building, but we don't want hyperinflation, right? We don't want to have Zimbabwe dollars here. Those of you who don't know, Zimbabwe officially hit the 1 billion mark. No, I think it's 2 billion. I think it's 2 billion right now. Where the inflation of Zimbabwe has gotten so high that it's at like 750 billion% or something like that. So 1 American dollar is equal to 2 point something billion Zimbabwe currency, whatever their currency is called there. I don't know. But we definitely don't want that as an issue. So, with that in mind, thanks for watching. If you have an idea as to what economic direction we should go in, whether it's option A or B, leave it in the comments below. If you have an alternate idea, put it down in the comments. Now, just because you put it in the comments doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Just so you know. I may look at it and I might tweak it, or I might not even do it. We'll have to see. With that in mind, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.